The morning sun rises, casting its first light over the world, a gentle reminder of each new day's gift. The wise Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." In this simple yet profound statement lies the essence of Stoic wisdom, the cultivation of gratitude for life itself. To wake up and recognize the miracle of existence is to begin each day by acknowledging its inherent value. It is a call to immerse oneself fully in the experience of living, to witness the splendor woven into the fabric of our surroundings. The ancient Stoics believed that embracing this conscious awareness washes away the weight of trivial concerns and grounds us in a state of being that transcends fleeting anxieties. Imagine for a moment that life is like an expansive, flowing river. When we fixate on the past, regretting what has been, or anticipate the future with apprehension, we clutch at the water, only to find it slipping through our fingers, leaving us unsatisfied and yearning. The Stoics teach us actual depth and richness when we stop struggling against the current and allow ourselves to flow, observing and engaging without clinging. To cultivate this mindset, one must learn to find wonder in the present, take moments to dwell on the beauty surrounding us, and remind ourselves that we are participants in the grand symphony of existence. The stars above, the soft rustling of leaves in the wind, and the laughter shared between loved ones are not just background details. They are notes in the ever-evolving song of life. This recognition is the first step in unlocking the potential for inner peace and positive mind power that the Stoics so revered. Let the dawn symbolize rebirth, a moment to renew our commitment to live not in passive acceptance, but with active appreciation. When we choose to awaken our senses to the world and anchor our thoughts in the present, we start to wash away the dust of distraction and find ourselves living more intentionally, enriched by a mindset that honors the profound and the simple alike. Lesson 1. The Alchemy of Thoughts, transforming negativity into strength. The mind is an architect, crafting the reality in which we live. The Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, remind us that while we may not control the external events that shape our lives, we wield complete power over our interpretations and responses to them. Epictetus, one of the revered Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." These words hold the essence of resilience. Understanding that events are neutral and our perception imbues them meaningfully. In this lies the power to transform negativity into strength, to take what might seem like adversity and mold it into a tool for growth. Imagine your mind as a garden. Left unattended, weeds of negative thoughts can overrun it, stifling the potential for beauty. Yet, with mindful cultivation, those same mental plots can bloom with flowers of resilience and hope. The Stoics believed that challenges were not meant to crush the spirit, but to sharpen it. The practice of reframing thoughts, shifting from "why is this happening to me" to "what can I learn from this," becomes the alchemy that transmutes difficulty into opportunity. This reframing does not come from denying pain or discomfort, but acknowledges them while choosing to see beyond them. Modern Stoic thinkers like Massimo Pigliucci emphasize that this transformation begins with awareness, an observant pause that asks, "Does this thought serve me, or does it hinder me?" Consider facing an unexpected setback, like being passed over for a promotion. The initial sting of disappointment can lead to self-doubt and frustration. But in Stoicism, this moment is a crucible, an opportunity to strengthen self-reflection, humility, and determination. Instead of spiraling into defeat, one might say, "This is a moment to evaluate my strengths and grow stronger." Such alchemy can be practiced by first observing your inner dialogue. When negative thoughts arise, ask yourself whether this perception moves you forward or holds you back. Can you see an alternative perspective that empowers rather than diminishes you? The Stoics believe that each of us has the choice to cultivate a resilient mindset, capable of viewing life's inevitable storms as survivable and necessary for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this realization, we unlock the gateway to enduring inner strength by understanding that the true power lies within our response. Begin this practice by journaling daily, noting instances where negative perceptions arise, and experimenting with reframing them. If the thought, "I always fail," surfaces, reframe it to, "I am learning from each setback and improving." Over time, this conscious reshaping of thought patterns becomes a habit that fortifies the mind against future trials. The Stoics have long shown that the mind, like iron, is strengthened through the fires of challenge. Will you harness this inner alchemy and choose to transform your life's adversities into reservoirs of strength? Lesson 2. The Symphony of Inner Narrative, Harmonizing Your Thoughts. Our minds are grand theaters where stories unfold. Each thought is a line in an ever-evolving script. The Stoics understood that the narratives we tell ourselves can shape the reality we experience, for better or worse. With profound insight, Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This statement underscores a universal truth. The stories we craft internally can amplify fears, doubts, and suffering that may not even exist in the tangible world. By recognizing these inner narratives, we unlock the power to rewrite them, transforming discord into harmony. Consider your thoughts as musicians in an orchestra. When negative, dissonant thoughts dominate, the result is chaos, a symphony of anxiety and tension. Yet, when we guide these mental notes with awareness and intention, they can play in concert, creating melodies of peace and resilience. Modern Stoic thinkers like Ryan Holiday emphasize this principle, suggesting that our perception of obstacles defines their impact. He urges us to see challenges not as immovable barriers, but as essential notes in our life's composition, contributing to our personal journey's full, rich sound. One must first become aware of the dominant stories at play to practice this harmonization of thoughts. Have you ever noticed how a single negative thought can set the tone for an entire day? For example, waking up with the belief, "Today will be overwhelming," often leads to a self-fulfilling cycle of stress. But what if you could pause, identify, and redirect this narrative? Instead of allowing that thought to govern your day, shift it to, "Today holds challenges, but I am prepared to meet them." This subtle change can transform tension into readiness and fear into anticipation. The Stoics teach that we are not mere spectators of our mental theater. We are the conductors. We can orchestrate thoughts that align with our values and aspirations, guiding them toward resilience and hope. Imagine taking hold of this conductor's baton and choosing what kind of inner symphony you wish to hear. Would it be one of defeat and doubt or strength and harmony? This conscious choice shapes your internal state and interactions with the world. To implement this practice, begin with reflective journaling. Identify recurring negative stories and question their validity. Are they rooted in truth or simply in fear? Replace these tales with narratives that uplift and inspire. For instance, instead of repeating, "I am not good enough," reframe it to, "I am constantly growing and improving." This process does not dismiss the reality of difficulties, but acknowledges them as part of your story while highlighting your capacity to persevere. By embracing this approach, you craft a narrative imbued with resilience and purpose. You teach yourself to see setbacks as chapters in an epic tale where every challenge is a chance to rise, learn, and grow. The Stoics have shown that by harmonizing our inner narrative, we weather life's storms and dance to their rhythm, finding strength in every note. Will you take the conductor's baton and direct the music of your mind toward a symphony of hope and strength? Lesson 3. The Compass of Inner Wisdom, Navigating Life Through Self-Reflection. Within each of us lies an inner compass, a profound source of guidance that, if nurtured, can steer us through life's uncertainties with clarity and purpose. The Stoics emphasize that this compass should not be sought externally but discovered within. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius urged, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." This simple yet powerful insight reminds us that self-reflection is not a luxury but a necessity for authentic living. The world's noise can easily drown out this inner wisdom, leaving us adrift, subject to the tides of external opinions and transient desires. But the Stoics believe that true resilience comes from an alignment with our core values, those guiding principles that, when adhered to, allow us to navigate challenges with unwavering conviction. Modern Stoic scholars like Donald Robertson reinforce this, highlighting that self-awareness is essential for emotional regulation and cognitive clarity. Through intentional reflection, we examine the beliefs that shape our responses and decisions, shedding what hinders us and nurturing what strengthens us. Imagine embarking on a journey without a map, each step uncertain, each choice a gamble. Life needs to be more directionless. When we pause to reflect on our motivations, actions, and reactions, we engage the compass within us, calibrating it to point true north toward our goals and values. Have you ever made a decision that felt intuitively right, even if it defied logic or popular opinion? That was your inner compass at work, guiding you toward a path aligned with your most profound truths. To harness this compass, one must cultivate mindfulness and introspection. Start by setting aside a few moments each day to observe your thoughts and emotions quietly. Ask yourself, what drives my decisions? Are they rooted in fear, ambition, or genuine understanding? This simple questioning uncovers hidden motivations and exposes patterns that may steer you away from your true path. With time, this practice sharpens your awareness and helps you make choices that resonate with who you are at your core. The Stoics understood that a life led by an unexamined mind was one prone to drifting, shaped by whims and external forces. By consulting our inner compass, we act intentionally, making decisions that create harmony between our values and actions. This alignment fuels a deep sense of purpose and inner peace, allowing us to remain steadfast in life's storms. Marcus Aurelius taught that true power comes from within, from this wellspring of inner wisdom that steadies us amidst the chaos. Implementing this practice begins with small, deliberate acts. Take time each day to reflect on a moment that challenged you. What thoughts arose? Did your actions align with your values? This daily inquiry refines your compass and hones your ability to navigate life with clarity and resilience. As you grow in self-awareness, you will be guided by an unshakable sense of direction, making choices that foster personal integrity and fulfillment. The journey to inner wisdom is one of continuous discovery, each day an opportunity to understand yourself more deeply. The Stoics have illuminated this path, showing that by turning inward, we can reveal a source of strength that no external storm can ever extinguish. Will you take the time to consult your inner compass and steer your life with purpose and confidence? Lesson 4. The anchor of presence, grounding yourself in the here and now. The Stoics taught that the present moment is our only actual possession. Yet, we often find ourselves trapped by the past or projecting anxieties into the future, missing the profound simplicity of the here and now. With his timeless wisdom, Seneca once observed, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This teaching underscores a critical realization. Our peace and fulfillment are rooted not in what was or what might be, but in the deliberate embrace of what is. Imagine life as a flowing river for a moment. When we dwell on past mistakes or anticipate future uncertainties, it is like trying to hold water in our hands, futile and fleeting. The Stoics believe that by immersing ourselves fully in the current, we experience the river's depth and beauty. This immersion is not just passive observation, but active engagement. It is the ability to anchor oneself in the moment, grounding the mind and heart in the steady beat of the present. Modern Stoic thinkers, such as Sharon Labelle, emphasize that mindfulness, this state of grounded presence, is not an abstract practice but an essential tool for navigating life's complexities with grace. When present, we can observe our thoughts without judgment and respond to life with clarity and intention. Have you ever noticed that time seems to dissolve when you are fully engaged in a task, leaving you in a state of pure flow? This is the power of presence. It grants us access to a positive mind power otherwise obscured by rumination and worry. To cultivate this anchor of presence, begin by incorporating mindfulness into daily life. Pay close attention to your senses, the sights, sounds, and sensations around you. When your mind drifts to regrets of yesterday or fears of tomorrow, gently guide it back to the moment at hand. Ask yourself, what is happening right now? How can I fully engage with this experience? This practice turns ordinary moments into opportunities for peace and reflection, transforming even mundane routines into exercises in presence. The Stoics understood that anchoring oneself in the present reduces the suffering caused by longing and apprehension. It is not an invitation to ignore the lessons of the past or the preparation for the future, but a reminder that real life unfolds now. Epictetus advised, "Don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Just say to it, 'Hold on a moment. Let me see who you are and what you represent.'" This pause is the hallmark of presence, observing thoughts and feelings without being swept away. To integrate this practice, choose an everyday activity, like drinking your morning coffee, and dedicate that time to being fully present. Feel the cup's warmth in your hands, inhale the aroma, and taste each sip with awareness. If your mind begins to wander, notice it without judgment and return your focus to the moment. Over time, this mindfulness habit extends beyond simple activities, helping you maintain a presence throughout your day. By embracing the anchor of presence, we access a profound serenity that fortifies us against the shifting tides of life. It becomes possible to navigate challenges with a sense of calm and resilience, grounded in the knowledge that this moment, right here and now, is enough. The Stoics believe that within each passing second lies the opportunity to live fully and meaningfully. Will you find yourself in the present and unlock the power of the positive mind? Lesson 5. The liberation from attachments, freeing your mind to soar. The Stoics believe that true freedom is not accumulating more but wanting less. In his profound simplicity, Epictetus stated, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This idea points to a powerful truth. Attachments, whether to material possessions, status, or specific outcomes, bind us and weigh down the spirit. To unlock the positive mind power the Stoics cherished, one must learn to release these self-imposed chains and cultivate a mindset of inner freedom. Consider how the mind becomes restless and constrained when tethered to desires or fears. The more we cling to external validation or possessions, the more we risk being held captive by them. The Stoics taught that these attachments often foster anxiety, for we are never indeed in control of external things. We set ourselves up for suffering when we attach our happiness to what lies beyond our influence. Seneca warned, "He who is greedy is always in want," reminding us that desire can become an endless pursuit, perpetually out of reach. To practice this liberation, identify areas in your life where attachment exerts its grip. Is it in material wealth, relationships, or expectations of how life should be? Reflect on how these attachments may be influencing your actions and emotions. Modern Stoic philosophers like Massimo Pigliucci encourage us to examine the roots of our attachments and question their actual value. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year, 5 years, or at the end of my life? This practice provides perspective, revealing how much of what we hold on to is transient and, ultimately, unimportant. Imagine your mind as a hot air balloon striving to rise. The weights tethering it to the ground are your attachments, each desire, each expectation that limits your ascent. To soar freely, one must cut these cords, letting go of what is not essential. Releasing does not mean abandoning responsibility or relationships, but approaching them without dependency or clinging. It's about engaging with the world from a place of inner abundance rather than need. The Stoics believe that we discover a profound sense of peace when we free ourselves from attachments. This peace is not passive contentment, but an active state of fulfillment that allows us to navigate life's highs and lows without losing balance. Have you ever experienced the lightness of letting go of something you once thought you needed? That moment, fleeting as it may be, hints at the freedom on the other side of attachment. To cultivate this liberation, try practicing selective minimalism. Start with a small area of your life, perhaps your wardrobe or digital space. Let go of items or commitments that no longer serve a purpose. Notice the lightness this brings and expand this practice to intangible attachments, such as adjusting expectations or setting healthier emotional boundaries. You create space for genuine growth and contentment by loosening your grip on the unnecessary. As you practice releasing attachments, remember Seneca's advice. Begin at once to live and count each day as a separate life. This teaching encourages us to cherish the present, unburdened by what we think we must possess or achieve. The Stoics have shown that freedom is not attained through accumulation, but by release. Will you take the bold step to liberate your mind and allow your spirit to soar? Lesson 6. The Art of Resilience, Building Mental Toughness Through Stoic Practices. The Stoics believed that true resilience was more than enduring hardship. It was about transforming obstacles into stepping stones for growth. With his characteristic insight, Seneca observed, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This concept suggests that adversity is not a foe to be feared but an ally in disguise, forging strength through experience. In the Stoic worldview, challenges are essential, not incidental, to building mental toughness and unlocking the positive mind power that lies within. Consider the nature of a tree rooted deeply in the earth. When fierce winds blow, it does not break. It bends and adapts, drawing strength from its roots. The Stoics taught us to develop a similar approach to life, using our values and inner strength as anchors. Modern Stoic thinkers, such as Ryan Holiday, champion this idea with the principle that the obstacle is the way. This philosophy urges us to view each impediment not as a roadblock, but as a tool for self-betterment. Have you ever faced a setback that, once navigated, left you wiser and more capable than before? This is the art of resilience in practice. To build this mental toughness, the Stoics advocated for premeditation malorum, the premeditation of evils. This practice involves envisioning potential challenges and preparing mentally for them. By rehearsing adversity, we reduce its power over us and bolster our confidence in facing it. We transform fear into readiness when we anticipate difficulties and strategize our response. Ask yourself, what challenges might I encounter, and how will I rise to meet them? This approach shifts the mind from reactive to proactive, reinforcing the Stoic teaching that while we cannot control what happens, we can always control how we respond. Resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to thrive amidst it. The Stoics believed every trial was a chance to practice virtues such as patience, courage, and wisdom. When faced with a difficult situation, a missed opportunity, a conflict, or an unexpected setback, pause and remind yourself that this moment is a test of your inner fortitude. You build the mental muscle needed for future challenges by choosing to respond with calm and composure. Imagine yourself as a blacksmith forging steel. Each challenge is a flame that tempers your resolve, making you more adaptable and unyielding. The Stoics argued that resilience requires daily practice. Start with small acts of deliberate discomfort, like taking a cold shower or tackling a challenging task without procrastination. These actions train your mind to accept and even embrace difficulty, recognizing it as an opportunity for growth. The resilience built through Stoic practice is not about being impervious to pain, but about maintaining strength and purpose in its presence. As Epictetus advised, the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. This reminder teaches us that we discover our capacity for endurance and adaptability in the storms of life. To integrate this lesson, consider a daily practice called challenge journaling. At the end of each day, write down a challenge you faced and reflect on your response. What did you learn from the experience, and how might you approach a similar situation in the future? Over time, this habit builds a repository of insights that reinforce your resilience and remind you of your progress. The Stoics have shown that resilience is not innate but cultivated through conscious choice to face difficulties as opportunities. Will you embrace this practice and forge a mind that remains unshaken by the storms of life? Lesson 7. The Alchemy of Gratitude, Transmuting Life's Trials into Treasures. Gratitude, to the Stoics, was more than a simple act of acknowledgement. It was an alchemical process that transformed how we perceive the world. Seneca eloquently stated, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart," emphasizing that gratitude elevates the spirit and allows us to navigate life with a sense of abundance, even amidst adversity. This practice is a cornerstone of Stoic resilience, where recognizing the value in all experiences, good or challenging, unlocks a deeper, more profound form of positive mind power. When we pause to reflect on what we have, rather than fixating on what we lack, our perspective shifts from scarcity to sufficiency. The Stoics believe that gratitude rooted us in reality, aligning our expectations with the truth of the present moment and freeing us from the suffering that arises from unfulfilled desires. Modern philosopher Massimo Pigliucci suggests that gratitude is about acknowledging our blessings and embracing the lessons embedded within life's challenges. Have you ever considered expressing gratitude for the joys in your life and the hardships that shaped your growth? The alchemy of gratitude lies in its transformative power. It changes the leaden weight of trials into golden opportunities for learning and development. Imagine facing a setback at work or in a relationship. While the initial reaction might be frustration or disappointment, the practice of gratitude invites us to look deeper. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? How has it contributed to my strength or understanding? This shift does not erase difficulty, but allows us to engage with it from a place of empowerment. To cultivate this practice, begin and end each day with a moment of reflection. Identify 3 things you are grateful for, ensuring that at least one challenges your perspective. It could be a tough conversation that pushed you to grow or a day that tested your patience and taught you resilience. The Stoics believed that actual growth occurred not in the absence of trials but through them, and gratitude was the lens that revealed their hidden value. Consider how an alchemist turns base metals into gold through careful refinement. Similarly, gratitude refines our perception, enabling us to appreciate the full spectrum of life's experiences. When consistently practiced, this mindset builds an inner wealth that external circumstances cannot erode. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Think of the blessings you now have and how much you would desire them if they were not yours." This practice reminds us that our lives are filled with riches we often overlook. Gratitude is more than a fleeting feeling. It is a deliberate and powerful practice that reshapes how we engage with life. It is an anchor that steadies us during turbulent times and enhances our capacity to face future challenges with grace. The Stoics recognize that when we cultivate a grateful heart, we align ourselves with a life of contentment and resilience. To deepen this practice, maintain a gratitude journal. Each night, write down not only what went well but what did not, and how you can find value in it. For instance, I am grateful for today's stressful meeting because it showed me the areas where I need to communicate more effectively. This exercise trains the mind to seek out the silver linings in every situation, building a resilient, grateful mindset that elevates daily life. The Stoics have shown us that gratitude is not just a response but a choice, a way to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary and the burdensome into the enlightening. Will you practice gratitude and unlock its alchemical power to transform your life? Lesson 8. The Dance with Destiny, Embracing Fate to Unlock Positive Mind Power. The Stoics viewed fate not as an adversary, but as a companion on life's journey. To align with destiny was to accept life's unpredictable nature with grace and understanding. In his profound meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." This is not a call for passive resignation, but an invitation to dance harmoniously with the flow of life, embracing every twist and turn as essential to our path. Many resist the idea of fate, seeing it as a force that takes away control. But the Stoics believe that accepting fate, or amor fati, the love of one's fate, frees us from the turmoil of constant resistance. When we struggle against what is, we expend energy fighting the immutable, creating tension and discontent. However, when we shift our perspective to see fate as a guide, not an obstacle, we unlock a powerful inner peace that allows us to engage with life more fully. Consider the metaphor of life as a grand dance floor. Fate is the music, sometimes gentle, sometimes stormy. Our role is not to demand a different tune, but to adapt our steps, moving with confidence whether the tempo quickens or slows. Have you ever noticed how you find clarity and strength in moments of acceptance, even in difficulty? This is the essence of the dance with destiny, to move in rhythm with life, seeing challenges not as disruptions but as the beats that enrich the melody of our experience. Ryan Holiday, a modern advocate of Stoicism, speaks to the power of embracing amor fati, suggesting that our greatest triumphs often come not despite our hardships, but because of them. By welcoming every moment as necessary, we transform setbacks into growth steps. Have you considered what opportunities for growth might lie hidden in the events you wish to change? The Stoics encourage us to accept and love the life unfolding before us. To practice this embrace of fate, recognize moments where resistance arises. Is there an event you wish to change, or a circumstance you find difficult to accept? Pause and ask yourself, what if this is exactly what I need to grow? This question reframes the situation, allowing you to step into acceptance and move forward with intention. It does not mean passively surrendering to life's challenges, but engaging with them as a willing participant. The Stoics believe this acceptance leads to a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. Epictetus advised, "Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly." This teaching highlights that harmony comes not from controlling outcomes, but from aligning our desires with reality. When we stop resisting and start participating in life's flow, we find a sense of liberation and strength that propels us forward. Implement a practice of daily reflection on acceptance. Each evening, consider a moment from your day that you struggled to embrace. Write down how you reacted and how you might view it differently through the lens of amor fati. For instance, I faced an unexpected setback at work today. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, I can view it as a lesson in patience and adaptability. This practice rewires the mind to approach future events openly, cultivating a mindset that sees life's unpredictability as a dance rather than a battle. The Stoics showed that to live fully is to trust the unfolding of our unique journey, embracing fate with grace and curiosity. Will you choose to dance with destiny, finding strength and serenity in the music of your life? Lesson 9. The harmony of virtue, aligning actions with inner values. For the Stoics, living a virtuous life was the highest aim, the key to unlocking a state of inner peace and positive mind power. Marcus Aurelius captured this essence succinctly when he wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This call to action underlines the importance of aligning one's actions with one's deepest values, turning abstract ideals into tangible, daily practice. Through this harmony, we find a life marked by integrity, purpose, and unwavering strength. Virtue, in Stoic philosophy, is not a lofty, unattainable concept. It is grounded in the practice of four cardinal principles: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. To live by virtue means to let these values guide our choices, allowing them to shape the way we navigate both the trials and triumphs of life. Modern Stoic thinker Donald Robertson emphasizes that virtues are like a moral compass, directing us through complexity with clarity. Have you ever noticed how decisions rooted in your core values bring a sense of peace, even when they are demanding? Aligning actions with inner values demands self-awareness and discipline. It asks us to reflect on whether our daily behavior reflects the person we aspire to be. The Stoics believe that the most significant internal conflict arises when we act against our understanding of what is right. Imagine, for instance, feeling the inner turmoil of compromising honesty for convenience. This dissonance disturbs the mind, creating a rift between who we are and wish to become. To practice virtue-driven living, begin by clearly defining what your values are. Take time to reflect on what qualities you admire in others and strive to embody. Are wisdom and patience paramount, or fairness and resilience? By knowing your code, you create a blueprint for making decisions that are not just reactive but intentional. Seneca advised, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you can improve." This underscores the importance of surrounding oneself with influences that reinforce, rather than undermine, our pursuit of virtue. Living in alignment with these values requires consistent effort and self-correction. The Stoics taught that each day presents an opportunity to act with virtue and to refine our character through big and trim choices. Picture your life as a musical composition. When your actions align with your values, they create a harmonious melody. When they do not, the result is discord. The Stoics understood that the true path to peace lies in this alignment because it benefits oneself and fosters trust, respect, and compassion in interactions with others. To integrate this principle, adopt a practice called the virtue of the day. Choose a single virtue to focus on each morning, such as patience or integrity. Set an intention to embody this quality throughout the day, observing how it influences your thoughts and actions. In the evening, reflect on moments where you succeeded and fell short. This practice helps to cultivate an ongoing awareness of how your behavior aligns with your values and reinforces your commitment to virtuous living. As we strive for this alignment, we discover that virtue is not just a path to personal fulfillment, but a means of contributing positively to the world around us. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that being a good person isn't about perfection but progress, striving each day to be better than we were before. This pursuit, though demanding, yields a profound sense of contentment that material gains can never provide. The Stoics have shown that by living in harmony with our inner values, we unlock the essence of a meaningful life. Will you walk this path of virtue, aligning your actions with your deepest beliefs and embracing its power? Lesson 10. The Mastery of Mindfulness, unlocking the full potential of your inner power. The Stoics believed that the most incredible power one could possess was mastery over the mind, achieved through mindfulness and self-awareness. In his timeless reflections, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his soul." This insight underscores that true peace is not found in distant places or external circumstances, but within the quiet, steady presence of the mind. Cultivating mindfulness is not just an exercise in serenity, but a gateway to unlocking the boundless potential of one's inner power. In the Stoic tradition, mindfulness means being fully present and aware, consciously observing thoughts without judgment. This practice roots us in the present moment's reality, freeing us from the shackles of past regrets and future anxieties. Have you ever felt the sense of clarity from being entirely absorbed in a task, where time ceases to exist and the mind is at peace? The Stoics valued this state of presence as a means to sharpen one's focus and deepen one's understanding of life's unfolding. Modern philosopher John Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. This deliberate awareness allows us to respond to life with wisdom rather than react with impulsivity. The Stoics believe that by developing this level of attentiveness, we gain the power to observe emotions and thoughts as they arise, deciding not to be ruled by them. Imagine facing a moment of stress or anger and being able to pause, recognize the feeling, and choose a measured response. This skill, cultivated through mindfulness, transforms how we navigate life's challenges. The Stoics often used the metaphor of the mind as a still lake. When undisturbed, it reflects the world with clarity and truth. However, this reflection is distorted when troubled by the ripples of worry, anger, or fear. Practicing mindfulness calms these ripples, allowing us to see life as it truly is without the haze of reactive emotion. Epictetus taught, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This emphasizes that self-awareness and mindfulness are foundational to purposeful action. To integrate mindfulness into daily life, set aside time for regular meditation. Find a quiet space to sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Observe each inhale and exhale, noting the sensations in your body and the thoughts that surface. When your mind inevitably wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath without judgment. Over time, this practice trains the mind to remain anchored in the present, fostering resilience and clarity permeating all life aspects. Mindfulness is not confined to meditation alone. It can be practiced in everyday activities. When you eat, take notice of each flavor and texture. When you walk, pay attention to the sensations in your feet and the rhythm of your steps. This continuous practice of presence helps bridge the gap between formal meditation moments and daily life's hustle, building an unshakable foundation of inner calm. The Stoics taught that this mastery of mindfulness grants us the power to be authors of our actions, not subjects to our reactions. Marcus Aurelius encapsulated this power, saying, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Through mindfulness, we learn to step back and observe our thoughts, guiding them toward constructive ends rather than being swept away by them. Incorporate a daily practice of mindful reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to review a situation where you responded impulsively. Reflect on how practicing mindfulness could have altered your response. Over time, this habit strengthens your ability to stay present in moments of tension and respond with wisdom. The journey of mastering mindfulness is one of continuous learning and practice. The Stoics have shown us that the key to resilience, clarity, and unyielding inner strength lies within the practice of mindful awareness. Will you take the time to nurture this practice and unlock the full potential that lies within you? Conclusion. The path of Stoic wisdom is not one of simple understanding but of continuous practice and deep reflection. Each lesson from the Stoics, transforming our thoughts, aligning with our values, or mastering mindfulness, serves as a guidepost toward a life of purpose, resilience, and peace. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus remind us that the most significant battles are waged within, and the victories won there forge a mind that can weather any storm. True mastery lies not in a life devoid of challenges, but in our ability to navigate them with unwavering grace and conviction. As you take these teachings into your daily life, remember that the journey is one of progress, not perfection. There will be days when the mind falters, old patterns resurface, and external pressures test your resolve. In these moments, the true strength of Stoic practice emerges, not in being unbreakable, but in choosing to rebuild, refocus, and realign. Every reflection, every moment of presence, and every act of gratitude adds to the foundation of your inner fortress. The Stoics have given us the tools to cultivate a life marked by wisdom, courage, and tranquility. They have shown us that our hands and thoughts can shape our reality. Will you embrace this wisdom and commit to the practice of Stoic living? The power of a disciplined, present, and virtuous mind is within reach for those willing to walk the path with intention and perseverance. If these insights have resonated with you, and you seek to deepen your understanding of Stoicism and personal development, I encourage you to join this community of seekers. Subscribe to the channel to stay connected with a wealth of knowledge and practices to support your journey towards self-mastery. Together, we can continue to learn, grow, and embody the timeless principles that lead to a life of profound fulfillment and strength.